Alright, so I'm making this video now. My third one today. Woo! I'm going for the record. Yes! But this one here, I'm hearing a lot of BS and bullshit and whatever else from a certain person. He thinks that he knows everything, but he knows shit. Nothing. Voila! You know what voila means there, Mr. Bullshitter? So, he's always complaining about this guy being a scammer and he's not paying his debts and he's not doing this. So you would think this person who uses Google search so often would punch into their bankruptcy in USA. I'm quite sure bankruptcy in most countries are all the same. But just to enlighten certain people, because all the comments on that is they don't know. They're too lazy to look it up themselves because, well, the sheep will always listen to the goat herder. Okay, sheep herder. That's Mr. Lunatic, crazy man, insane, and just a little information for you, dummy. So, when a person starts up a business, it can be a single proprietor, or there could be multiple proprietors, meaning that a group of people put money into it and they own a share of the company. It's still a closed company. It's not a public company. It's a private company. Now, when you make a company, you go in and you register it and you make it a limited company. A limited company is one that you are not personally responsible for liabilities or debts. So if you have a company that you start out, a lot of time you're not going to get credit unless you sign a waiver saying that you are fully responsible for this money. So this certain person had a business in the United States and something happened and went through bankruptcy court. Now, when you go through bankruptcy, people are asking for payment and they are suing you for payment. And if your business is not making money, then you claim bankruptcy protection, and then it just goes to bankruptcy court if you cannot make a deal with your creditors. So when it goes to court and you file bankruptcy, your company is liable for the debts. You are not personally liable for any debts. This is for people that have never been in a business before, always worked for somebody else, and have no knowledge or no clue about how a business is run. That's you, Mr. Lunatic, Mr. Pathological Liar. Yes, that's you. So this person had a business and went insolvent and went into bankruptcy and went through the courts. And what happens is all your assets are seized of that company. And that assets are then either taken by the creditors or sold, and the creditors are paid from the monies that are recouped. So let's say you have $10,000 in debt for this company. You can't pay it out. The creditor wants the money back, so they go to court to get their money, and you claim bankruptcy. So they take all your assets of the company. And if your company assets are worth and sell for, say, $15,000, the creditor gets paid and you get $5,000 left over. as long as all the creditors are paid. They usually get in line after you've gone to bankruptcy court. If there's only one creditor, they get paid and then you get the rest. Now, if the assets are sold for $5,000, the $5,000 goes to the creditor, and that's all they can do. There's nothing else they can do. They can't go and claim personal claim because it's a limited company. So you cannot go after the person to pay it off unless you have a clause, that waiver that says that he's liable. He agrees to be liable for any debt. Now, what happens is some people will get paid. So if I'm running a business, and let's say I'm getting paid $3,000 a month, and I keep pulling out that money and keep pulling out that money, even though my business is not making that much, that's where you go into debt with a creditor, and you get into being bankrupt, filing for bankruptcy. You're still getting paid. You make sure you get paid. You put that money aside because they can't touch it. If you don't believe it's right or wrong, it doesn't matter. It's business. Bankruptcy. Search up Donald Trump and how many times he's claimed bankruptcy. It's kind of ironic to me because most of his bankruptcies are casinos. If you get that, you know who I'm talking about. So anybody can do this. During the pandemic, this happened to a lot of companies that went into bankruptcy protection. Large franchises went into bankruptcy protection, filed for bankruptcy. Why? Because the pandemic killed them. They had to close their businesses down. They couldn't pay the lease and that, depending on your landlord. If the landlord's an asshole, like the person that I'm talking about, and who wants his money, there's nothing you can do. Eventually, you owe more than what you're making because your business is closed, and the landlord will go to court to get payment. And then during the bankruptcy, you have to claim bankruptcy in order to protect yourself. And the landlord will just seize all the assets in the business, and either he will release it with the assets and charge a little bit more, or he will just sell all the assets and take what he can. Most landlords, they don't care. Their businesses are usually paid for, or they're paying a mortgage on it, but they're already making money. They've already put that money away in case of, and have insurance and all this other crap. So, for those that are saying that this person is a scammer and bad business person, everything like that, shit happens, man. It does. And losing your business that way, it sucks. But the laws are there to protect you. So he doesn't owe anybody any money if he's gone to bankruptcy court. He doesn't owe anybody. They've taken what they can, and that's it. It's a limited company. If he paid himself for 10 years and put that money away, that's his money. That's his wages. He paid taxes on that. A business, a limited company business, and personal finances are two separate entities. So listen up, learn, and quit bitching and whining about stuff you don't know. Just makes you look more like an idiot than you already are. You are an idiot and a wanker. So stop your mouthing, quit spewing bullshit, and just basically go away, because you're just a liar.